Yo, what's good, man? It's your boy Derek Branch here of Strike7Sports.com, man. And tonight I just want to, go live tonight and talk about some issues that are, well, I don't call them issues, but, topics that I would like to go over tonight. And that's with the NFL and, current landscape of it and with the quarterbacks, all the reports that have surfaced lately and what's been going on. And, I've been seeing a lot of chatter online and social media groups, Facebook groups, Twitter, message boards, and radio shows talking about the NFL potentially going the route of the NBA, where it's for the most part, as a players, players, a date is a league that caters to the players of the NBA. I just want to just bring some clarity to that, and some thoughts on the what's going on with the quarterbacks in the NFL. The not just any quarterbacks, but the star QBs in the National Football League. Just want to bring some thoughts out on that, some perspective on how it originated and the originated from to where it is now. I just and then some other stuff. Probably gonna showcase three of the guys, three or four of them. But I'm gonna start off with Carson Wentz in this situation. I'm not saying that I'm a NFL insider by no means, or know it all, or whatever I say is gospel. You can either agree with me or disagree with me, man. It is what it is, man. It's sports, man. Try not to take myself too serious on here, even though I'm trying to, pursue this as a business, build an independent website. I'll try to have fun with this, man. If you, I mean, I'm not gonna get hostile against towards another person on what quarterback they like or anything like that. But anyways, man, I foresee, I saw Carson Wentz getting moved at the end of the season, before the season started. Weeks, leading up to the season, when they drafted Jalen Hurts in the second round, that was a signal to me right there that, hey, look, man, they could have some moves interest. They could have some plans to possibly move him if things don't get turned in the right direction. Wentz had a great year. Well, not great year, but an okay year the previous season. He led Philadelphia to the playoffs. He got them they won the NFC East. But when it's time for the postseason, he got to the postseason. It was one and done. He got hurt, I think, in the first quarter or something like that. The opening drive, if I'm not mistaken. Got hurt, was lost for the rest of the game. I think Luke McCown, I think Josh McCown came in, and they still lost the game. But that was pretty much the writing on the wall right there. They drafted a quarterback in the second round, and Doug Peterson, when he was asked about it, he just kind of blew it off and all that. But it's hard, to you can only hide that question for so long, that hide not dodge that question for so long, and then it didn't help when Wentz got on the field and he was performing. He had substandard performance as a quarterback, so that pretty much sealed his fate right there. In my opinion. I knew there was he could have possibly been moved, and I know that I connected the dots. A lot of stuff you just got to use common sense, man, and logic with these situations, man. You got to connect the dots. You don't have to be a insider or have your ears to the street on what's going on. You just got to look at the situation, watch the story, and just connect the dots, and that's what I did. And I knew about Frank. I knew Frank Reich was the offensive coordinator in Philadelphia when they went to the Super Bowl, and Wentz played a big part in that Super Bowl run. He got them to that record that will allow them to get the number one seed and make contend for the Super Bowl that year. So it's just the writing was on the wall, and I connected the dots of, hey, he's familiar with Frank Wright. They have a good relationship from what I see. The you know Indianapolis at the time needed a quarterback. They had a good roster. They had Andrew Luck retired. Suddenly. They needed a quarterback. They had a good running game to study. Wide receivers are not too bad. Defense is A1 in my opinion. You got Darius Leonard, who I think is the most underrated player on defense in that throughout the National Football League. He's probably gonna starting to get recognized this upcoming season. With now you got Wentz on the roster, you probably gonna see more of Darius Leonard and everything that he's capable of. But that was a writing on the wall with that, man. That's I just felt like Wentz was pretty much set up for failure with Philadelphia, man. They really didn't give him nothing to work with, man. The wide receivers wasn't that good. Alshon Jeffrey wasn't what he used to be in Chicago. Deshaun Jackson was injury prone. He wasn't that same guy. Um, they had traded for Marquise Goodwin, who got beat out by Debo Samuel and the rest of those guys. Debo Samuel, Kendrick Bourne, Brandon Ayuk. So he got it beat out. They drafted a Jalen Rager. When at the time, I thought they made a big mistake when they should have drafted that opportunity draft Justin Jefferson, who's doing a great job at with the Minnesota Vikings right now. So that pretty much sealed it right there for that. And his best weapons were like Miles Sanders and the tight end Dallas Goddard. Brent Selig was pretty much on his last leg with Philadelphia. Not Selig. My bad. Zach Ertz. He's pretty much on the way out in Philadelphia. Hold on. So that was that. You know what I'm saying? And after the end of the season, I know he was gonna get traded. They hired the coach. They hired a head coach that knew Frank Wright and had sent Frank Wright's system. And your boy wasn't trying to hear that. He said, "Like, look, whatever, man. I'm ready to move on." They got the numbers down, the trade numbers down, with the compensation of what they wanted. And Chicago and not Chicago, but Indianapolis didn't even have to give up a first round pick for Carson Wentz. So that's that. You know what I'm saying? And I think Indianapolis is gonna be a really good football team next year, man. For real. It's just how I see it, It's gonna be a really good football team. We'll try this mic out, man. Yeah. So I think it's a really good football team, and looking forward to seeing what Frank Reich is gonna do with Carson Wentz in that offense. See how he gets reacclimated with working with him as a quarterback whisperer. And we'll see how it goes, man. But that trade, he rightfully deserved to be moved out of there, man. If we'll see how it goes with Philadelphia with Jalen Hurts. Hopefully he can get the starting job, and make a good impression next season. And now moving on to the next quarterback, I'm gonna break down is Deshaun Watson. You starting to hear it now about Deshaun Watson and the talk about him of why he signed that contract if he knew he was going to get traded. Well, look, if he didn't sign it, he runs the risk of being franchise tagged possibly at the end of this season. So that's that. You know what I'm saying? They offer him, that's life changing money, and I guess you figure it out from there. And they traded away DeAndre Hopkins. Who else, man? They got rid of DeAndre Hopkins. They got Brandon Cooks in return, who's a good wide receiver, but he's injury prone. You know what I'm saying? So they got Will Fuller, who's a great weapon for Deshaun Watson. They had the running back. They traded for David Johnson to get in return. And it was a big mess in Houston, man. There's just so many layers to that situation out there, and it's kind of sad that it's turned out that way because at one time I thought the Houston Texans had a top five roster. Man, they had so many great players. DeAndre Hopkins. You had the running back. I forgot his name. Man. I'm not getting his name on top of my head right now, but you had J.J. Watt, Wooden Merciless. So many great players on that team. That is falling apart right now. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with Wooden Merciless. You know what I'm saying? J.J. Watt has been released. Deshaun Watson is demanding to be traded. He just kind of, right, like Carson Wentz, rightfully so, deserves to be actually be moved out of Houston. With so much going on out there, it's just not the place to be for a franchise. It's a bad franchise, man. I just think that Watson, they should trade him. You know what I'm saying? Just get what you can get for him. Get a big haul for him and let him go to where he wants to go. It's not good. If you're trying to, it's like they're trying to force this relationship upon him between him and the team, and it's not working. You know what I'm saying? It's just not, it's not gonna make sense going forward. You let this guy sit out the rest of the year, paying fines and all that. Just trade him and get some value from him. It ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? So that's that with Deshaun Watson, man. That's teams that are interested in trading for him. It's no doubt. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised I won't be surprised where he goes, but I think he's going to go to a team where he has opportunity to contend for a championship. I think the Jets offered a good package for him. The Jets, send him to the Jets. You get that number 2 pick in the draft and get a quarterback, and then you got more picks. You just rebuild your roster, man. I don't know why Houston's holding the trade up. It's the guy who wants to be traded. He already met with a new coach, Dave Cullen. He just said, "Look, man, regardless of what goes on, I want to be traded. I want to be traded." You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's my mic. Yeah, he wants to be traded. So that's that. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I want to see where he gets moved in the future. You know what I'm saying? But the next one I got is Russell Wilson. This is the one I gotta pick my bone with him a little bit. This is another one that I forecast something. He could have been possibly moved in the future. I'll date this back to last season and even the previous season. It is observing the way things going down in Seattle with the way the offenses ran. It's still despite with the weapons they have on the outside, you got DK Metcalf, David Moore, Tyler Lockett, running back Chris Carson, Rashad Penny, who's I think is is looking like to be a bust, injury prone running back. It's just that Seattle, their offense is about run. They set up the run and then go pass. Then they pass to get them, they do some crazy play or pass something to get them out of a jam. That's what I see with Seattle's offense. Lob it up to DK Metcalf, he make something happen, But that's a good thing, the positive side of it, because Seattle didn't really have any great wide receivers. At one point in the beginning, Doug Baldwin was their lead guy, who Russell Wilson pretty much elevated to a great wide receiver. And he got Tyler Lockett along the way. But Seattle, man, their offense, I saw the writing on the wall with that team. Russell Wilson possibly, speaking up in the future. You know what I'm saying? It came out this past week about Wilson, demanding not demanding a trade, but that's an article in the Athletic It's a paid subscription website, a paid website that has a paywall that I'm subscribed to. I still haven't checked out the article, and it was just goes into details about how Wilson and Pete Carroll are having a fractured relationship and things going on behind closed doors, and the Arizona game. It's Thursday night football. I think this happened before the game where Wilson had pitched an idea to Pete Carroll on how he could how the team could tailor the offense to make it more explosive, more productive, and eventually, I'm paraphrasing here, but Pete Carroll shot down the idea of that happening. So, in according to the reports, is that Wilson stormed out of the building, out of the office, or the meeting, whatever. And that things have been pretty much coming to light now. It's the off season. And Wilson went on, there's so many layers to this story. Wilson was at the Super Bowl with his wife, Sierra. There's in the press box and they had some type of conversation. We don't know what it still hasn't been like really reported what came about in that conversation. And the press box at the time, Wilson had won the NFL 2020 Walter Payton Man of the Year award. So he was there to receive that award, but we don't know the whole extent of that conversation inside the skybox, inside the press box at Super Bowl in Tampa. And then the Dan Patrick show, 2 days later, about him being frustrated about getting beat up with a bad offensive line. There's that story. Just stuff that's leaking, man. Just constantly every week. And then last week, the next story broke, and that's the big one, the big bombshell. It was reported that Wilson had the New York Jets, the Miami Dolphins, the Oakland Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders, and the New Orleans Saints as his preferred trade destinations. And that just set Twitter, social media ablaze about what's going on with Russell Wilson. And then, I'll say an hour later, the list gets updated, and it was Wilson wants to stay in Seattle. He has no intention of leaving Seattle, but if he do trade him, I would like to go to these 4 teams. These 4 teams are the new 4 teams. What the updated list is: Dallas Cowboys, Chicago Bears, Las Vegas Raiders, and New Orleans Saints. Now you notice the Saints were in both trade destinations. Why is that? Yeah, you already should know why, but I'm gonna go into that one. But who that? So I think this was mounting a long time ago, man, between Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson. I just forecasted a while back that he possibly getting moved out of Seattle, man. My thing is, my bone to pick with Russell Wilson is why let's say you want to be traded, man, because you don't let the cat out the bag now with your agent leaking these type of rumors. You know what I'm saying? These type of things you want to do behind closed doors. Just go out and say, hey, I would like to be traded. We had a great run. We won a Super Bowl. We tried to win a second one. Didn't get it done. We've been a lot of playoff games. Just hey, look, man, I think it's time for us to move on, part ways. I would like to go here and get the best. Seattle should get the best haul for him. Period. Don't beat around the bush, Russell Wilson. To say you want to get traded, don't you know what I'm saying? Because I don't think this is gonna get any better, in my opinion. I don't know. I was the report. The report was stating that Seattle wasn't happy with Seattle putting that stuff out to Dan Patrick. So this ain't gonna get any better, man. The season is gonna be like the year where Belichick and Brady was breaking up. It was just stuff leaking constantly, and that's gonna be the same thing here. It'd be stories about watch if Sierra. There's a story about how they closed out on a house in Seattle. They moved the property or something. That's gonna be a story. All kind of things. You got to connect the dots, man. You don't have to be an insider or a credential reporter to understand how these things work. You know what I'm saying? The Brady stuff was, I know Brady was on the wall. You know, the Brady was gonna be gone. You know, after all that stuff was coming out. I thought he was going to the Chargers, but Tampa Bay came in, presented that offer to him. So, I don't know, man. I'm not gonna say he's gonna get traded, but I just think it's gonna be the I'm just pay attention to how things unfold these next few weeks, man. Because I think we're in March right now, so in 2 weeks when that tempering period start, that's when you gonna start seeing some movement. You start seeing some action go on with these players, though. But anyway, man, back to the question, the topic of the title of the video, the live stream. Are these players breaking silence, you know, express their frustrations, trade demands and all this? Is it a trend that's going to be beneficial to the NFL? Is it a trend going in the right direction, or is it not? My opinion on that is that I think this is good for the NFL, man. I think it is. It's great for the league, man. I don't think the NFL is nowhere near going to be like the NBA with this stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's just not at that level. You know, I know Brady did it this year, well, this past season with coordinating players to come with him and join them. But I don't see that happening all the time. You know what I'm saying? Just you got to be. If you saw what happened with Kawhi Leonard down there with the Clippers, man, everybody, quarterbacks are the leader of a team, but it requires more than just that. You know what I'm saying? Tom Brady does a lot, man. A lot behind the scenes. You think he has his hands in personnel decisions, all that. And that's like a LeBron does. You know what I'm saying? But the NFL has that hard salary cap, and I just don't think it's going to be difficult. It's difficult in the NFL. It's going to be difficult to manage those rosters like the NBA. With a hard salary cap. You're not paying all those guys. It was a 55-man roster now with the new CBA. Oh, those are guaranteed contracts, man. You're not doing that. NBA is at what? I think like 15 guys, man, if I'm not mistaken. So that's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? There's just a lot going on. I don't think it's going to ever be to that point where it's like the NBA where you got star players recruiting other star players to join them, and it's all this other stuff about this and that guaranteed deals. It ain't gonna be that. It will never be that. It will never be that. But dang, and that's another thing. What the NFL has in its favor is that if you're pretty much the worst team, second to worst team in NFL draft in the NFL, you will get you're pretty much guaranteed to get a high first round draft pick compared to NBA where it's a lottery system where you could have a bad record, but that doesn't necessarily warrant that you get a high draft pick. In the NBA draft, this is not that type of draft where you can find all kind of hidden gems and talent in the later rounds, the later picks and all that. You just ain't gonna find it in the NBA compared to the NFL. So that's another thing in his favor that I don't think it's gonna ever be that way with the NFL, with the NFL. In the NBA, you pretty much, if you lose a superstar, generational type talent, you probably won't get that type of player until another type of one of those types of players until 5-10 years from now. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to get those type of players to come to you, to your market. In the NFL, you can lose those players, get suck for 1 year, and get the first probably the first to fifth picks 1 through 5. You probably in that order, and get another quarterback and just train like the train never stop. But it will never get to that point, man. I know people overacting and panicking and talking about they're gonna not watch the NFL if the players demand these types of movements again. That don't make sense. That's just kind of stupid. But these all three of these players that are I guess demanding trades or have gotten traded. Matthew Stafford, they had valid reasons why, in my opinion. Valid reasons, Matthew Stafford pretty much did what he could in Detroit. He was surrounded with bad management, bad front offices. They had a head coach, that Jim Caldwell. They fired him. They had him in fighting for playoff spots. They got rid of him. Carson Wentz, pretty much in a bad situation in Philadelphia. You know, for surrounded with a bad supporting cast. Never really, there was never really the Philadelphia type, in my opinion. Never like, Philadelphia, for whatever reason, the fan base, they always go to the backup. They always favor the backup QB compared to the starter. And he just never was like a Philadelphia type, in my opinion. Russell Wilson, man, despite the success of in Seattle, the O-line was an issue. O-line was an issue. Offense that's stuck in the 80s and 90s, that type of offense. They need to upgrade, because they got some weapons to work with, man. I just think you got to fix that O-line. I don't know if they're going to do that this year, But anyways, man, I'm going to get off this thing for right now, man. Give me a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know how you feel. Do you believe that the NFL is going in the right direction with the quarterbacks, star players, demanding trades, calling out their franchises on national TV, throughout the media, through social media? Just, let me know how you feel about that. And check out strike7sports.com for latest content on the NBA, NFL, and a lot more. That's strike7sports.com. That's all I have for you for right now. Please subscribe to the channel. Give me a like, comment, subscribe. Have a blessed day. Peace.